costing a lot of money to try and get a service just like that started. Science editor Steve Newman reports on one person already using the brand new system.
Hello there carpologists, I'm Dan. You've joined me down on the banks of one of my syndicate waters in the southwest, and today we're taking a closer look at the TF Gear FishSpy marker float. So the lake's actually closed at the moment for fishing. The fish have recently spawned and they're getting a much needed break. But this is a perfect time to get over the lake, you know, go with your lead rod or your marker rod, whatever you want to call it. Basically pick some swims that you're interested in, areas that you think fish are going to be holding up or visiting quite frequently throughout the coming months, and have a good lead around. You know, you're not going to do any harm because there's no fishing at the moment, and any disturbance you do cause will soon be forgotten about in the sort of coming days. So yeah, get out there, have a lead around, find some nice looking spots and get some bait on them, and it's so easy to do. I came over yesterday, I was here for about an hour, I had a good lead around in an area that a particular fish that I want to catch has been caught from several times in the past. Basically this is a 13-acre gravel pit, and that fish I want to catch has been caught once up the other end of the lake since it's been in here, in its life basically. It always comes out in this little finger bay. This is just the entrance to a bay that runs behind me and down the right hand side of the camera there. And basically, yeah, the fish always gets caught here. It comes out here every year within a few weeks of them spawning, and this is basically the mouth. This is the entrance to the bay. Doesn't seem to matter what way the wind's blowing or what the bulk of the fish are doing out in the main body of the water up there. That big one, that one that I want, always tends to get caught down here. So yeah, I basically picked this swim. Like I said, I've had a good lead around. I mean, it's really weedy, you can probably see it. It's the weeds up to the surface in certain areas, and it's between 12 and 14 foot deep out there. So it's pretty bad, but there are clear spots. There's sort of motorways, sort of channels, clear channels between the weed beds. Some of which has gravel, some is silt. So I've had a lead around. I found an area which feels good to me. You know, I'm no expert, but it feels like a sort of a likely looking feeding spot to me. It's sort of 2/3 of the way across, maybe yeah, 75–80% of the way across, a bit further than that. And yeah, it's just a nice looking spot. So I've been trickling a little bit of bait in. I've come back over this morning. I've had a couple of casts with a FishSpy. I've had a good look around and there's no bait there at all. Not only that, but the water is clearly coloured. The fish have finished spawning. They finished spawning last week, so it's normally gin clear here. So any sort of colour in the water normally relates to, you know, a group of fish or several fish feeding within the vicinity. So it's looking good. I can't find any bait on the bottom at all with a float, which tells me I can put a little bit more out, you know, and if I can, I'll come back tomorrow. If not, it'll be the day after. But it's just really handy, you know, being able to get over a couple of casts with this. It will soon tell you exactly what's going on, and then you can just sort of adapt your plan accordingly. If there's still bait on the bottom, you know to leave it. And like I said, just come back whenever you can, give it a check, and things like that will definitely give you an advantage in some way or another. It might tell you, you know, it's not always going to reveal treasures. It's not going to highlight certain feeding zones that are going to catch you everything in the lake. It might just alert you to areas that the fish don't feed on. You know, you might come over after baiting up and find out the bait's all still there and keep coming back, and day after day the bait's still there other than a bit of bird life or bream eating it. And that just indicates an area to sort of forget about, to, you know, move on, find somewhere else. But without having that, without having the float to cast out there and tell you that bait's still on the bottom, the only other way you'd find out that that area is no good is by doing several blank sessions in there. Because you'd be coming over, you know, there's no trees, well there are trees, there's small bushes on the other side, but you can't get a vantage point to look down onto the bottom. So the only way you'd know, like I said, is by doing blank sessions, you know. I don't know about you, but I don't really have that sort of time to waste. Nobody's claiming that it's a magic device and it's going to triple your catch rate, but just like any sort of gadget nowadays, you know, bait boats and sonars, echo sounders, all those sort of things used correctly at the right time and place can definitely give you an advantage. And for me, this is exactly what this is doing here today. You know, it's something for me to fall back on. When the lake is open and I can finally fish it, I'll probably still come over, have a look around, see what I can find. But if it's busy and I can't get on the spots on the open water where the fish are showing, I know that I've got something to fall back on, because I know the spot's clean, I know exactly how many wraps out it is, so it's minimal disturbance when I do turn up and fish. I know that I've put bait there, I know for a fact it's been eaten, and it's definitely just going to boost my confidence when I do finally get to fish the swim. So the recommended retail price on the FishSpy marker float from Total Fishing Gear should be around £240, but they're currently doing a massive saving and it's available for just £129.95. For more information, please do visit the TFG website. Thanks for watching and I'll see you again soon.